It started like a cruel joke. An online listing appeared overnight, advertising a beautiful suburban home for sale. The problem? The owner had never put it on the market. His name was Marcus, respected real estate lawyer, a man who knew every corner of property law. But when he discovered his house was being sold without his knowledge, the truth was even darker. It wasn't a mistake. It was targeted. And the person behind it wasn't a stranger. It was the head of his own HOA. What happens when power, prejudice, and property collide? This story will shock you. Marcus had built a life many dreamed of. A decorated Navy veteran turned real estate lawyer. He worked tirelessly to provide for his wife and 2 children. After years of long hours, missed holidays, and unshakable perseverance, he finally bought his dream home in a quiet suburban neighborhood. It was the kind of place with trimmed lawns, children on bicycles, and block parties in the summer. At first, he thought he had found peace. His family enjoyed backyard barbecues, evening walks with their golden retriever, and the comfort of stability. But beneath the neighborhood smiles, Marcus noticed something different. Stares that lasted too long, questions laced with suspicion, and the subtle message that he didn't quite belong. The Homeowners Association, an HOA led by a woman named Karen Whitfield, was supposed to keep the neighborhood organized. But from day one, Marcus felt her presence. She questioned his fence height, complained about his parked car, and even sent letters about his children's toys being too visible. It was harassment disguised as rules. Still, Marcus brushed it off, focusing on his work and family. He knew the law better than anyone. He thought reason and professionalism could overcome prejudice. But then, one ordinary morning, everything changed. A neighbor casually mentioned, "I saw your house online. It looks amazing. Why are you moving?" Marcus froze. He hadn't listed his home. He rushed to his computer, and what he found made his blood run cold. His home, his sanctuary, was listed for sale, without his knowledge, his consent, or his signature. The online listing wasn't just detailed, it was invasive. Photos of his backyard, descriptions of the interior, and even his address were plastered across the internet. The price was suspiciously low, almost as if someone wanted to attract buyers quickly. Marcus immediately contacted the site, demanding the listing be taken down. The representative confirmed the seller had submitted paperwork, but under closer inspection, the documents contained forged signatures and falsified authorization letters. Whoever did this had gone to great lengths to make it look legitimate. Marcus didn't have to guess long. His first thought went straight to Karen Whitfield, the HOA president, who had been on his case since the day he moved in. And when he asked the website for the name of the supposed seller, his suspicion was confirmed. It matched Karen's email address. Rage burned inside him, but Marcus knew better than to act rashly. He began documenting everything, screenshots, emails, even the original HOA complaints. As a lawyer, he understood the weight of evidence. But while Marcus prepared for a legal showdown, his family suffered. Strangers began driving by, slowing down to take pictures of the house. One evening, a couple even rang the doorbell, asking when the open house would be. His children grew frightened, confused about why people kept coming. His wife worried constantly about their safety. The stress mounted, but Karen wasn't finished. At the next HOA meeting, she coldly remarked in front of neighbors, "It's such a shame Marcus is leaving us so soon. Hopefully, the next family fits better with our community." Gasps rippled through the room. The audacity was undeniable. For Marcus, this was no longer just about property. It was about dignity, justice, and exposing the ugly truth of racism hiding behind suburban respectability. He filed a formal complaint with the State Real Estate Commission, backed by his ironclad evidence. He also began preparing a civil lawsuit against Karen personally, citing fraud, harassment, and defamation. But the tension didn't stop at paperwork. One night, while reviewing case files, Marcus heard loud banging on his front door. When he opened it, a notice was taped to the frame, an HOA violation threatening fines unless he vacated the property by the end of the month. It wasn't just harassment anymore, it was intimidation. The battle lines had been drawn. Marcus was no longer simply defending his home. He was fighting to expose a system where racism and power conspired to erase him from his own neighborhood. The courtroom was packed. Local reporters filled the benches, curious about the bizarre case of a black lawyer whose home had been sold without his knowledge. On one side, Marcus sat calm but determined, his suit sharp, his evidence airtight. On the other side, Karen sat stiff, her lawyers whispering frantically. The judge listened as Marcus presented his case. He laid out every screenshot, every forged document, and the undeniable proof that Karen had impersonated him. Each piece landed like a hammer striking steel. Murmurs spread through the courtroom as the truth unfolded. Then came Karen's turn. Her defense was weak, claims of clerical errors and misunderstandings. But under cross-examination, Marcus cornered her. He asked one question that silenced the room. If this was a mistake, why did you email the real estate site using your HOA account, pretending to be me? Karen's face flushed. She stumbled, unable to explain. The courtroom grew tense, every eye on her. The judge leaned forward, voice stern. This is fraud. This is harassment. And this is unacceptable. The gavel struck like thunder. Karen was found guilty of fraud and ordered to pay damages, including Marcus's legal fees. She was removed from the HOA board effective immediately. The crowd erupted, some in applause, others in shock. Marcus sat quietly, but inside, he felt the weight of years of harassment finally lift. This wasn't just a legal victory. It was justice served in the face of racism, cloaked as rules and regulations. The ruling didn't erase the pain his family endured, but it restored something vital, dignity. Marcus returned home that evening, not just as a homeowner, but as a man who had stood against prejudice and prevailed. His children hugged him tightly, finally reassured that their home was truly theirs, safe and untouchable. Word spread quickly. Neighbors who had once stayed silent began speaking up, admitting they had noticed Karen's hostility but feared her influence. Now, emboldened by Marcus's victory, they promised to change the culture of their neighborhood. Some apologized. Some thanked him for standing firm. For Marcus, the case wasn't just about one woman's racism. It was about a system that allowed power to be abused against those deemed different. His story was covered by local news, sparking broader conversations about racial discrimination in housing and the unchecked authority of HOAs. Yet even with victory, Marcus knew the fight wasn't over. Across the country, countless others faced the same silent battles. Harassment, intimidation, and systemic barriers hidden beneath polished suburban streets. And so, his story became more than personal. It became a reminder. Homes are more than property. They are sanctuaries. They are symbols of security. And no one, no matter their title or authority, has the right to take that away because of race. So, what do you think? How many more Karens will abuse power before change truly comes? If you believe stories like Marcus's must be heard, then don't let this conversation end here. Share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so we can keep exposing the truth. Because silence only protects the guilty, but voices like yours can create change.